are listening to Future Fighters Cast, the podcast for all things Buddyfight. Recorded on the 16th of April, 2014. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buddyfight podcast, episode 1. And I am Giraton, your main host, and today I have this little fellow to my hypothetical right. Which means
My name is Jaden, but you've been calling me Luke.
Right
and now the one to my left is...
Left.
Yeah, left.
Yeah, I better take it. Yeah.
We're in this big circle. We're in this big
Bird.
circle.
What's
Big
it called?
internet circle.
I'm Bird. You can still call me Kookaburra if you want, but yeah, I respond to either. I'm just going to hear call me. So all right, we were here to talk about Buddyfight and stuff, right?
Yes. So
Oh.
basically, this will be the second Buddyfight podcast I know of, but the first one I know of is just a few guys just talking around Buddyfight. The first episode is always rusty.
Sure.
As you can see in my other podcast, the Beyblade podcast. Ugh, the thing is horrible.
I guess that's life, right? Like, what are we gonna talk about?
So yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we will start off with whatever news happens to be in the Buddyfight world, and then we'll go over to our main topic, which today is what makes a good card good.
What makes a good card?
We'll go over through our general thoughts, and then our card of the month, which this month will be cards. And then we have a question of the month, but we don't have a question for this month. We will have a question for next month.
What?
So basically,
right? Yeah,
news, main topic, general thoughts, cards of the month, and then we'll end this.
Sure.
So, we're going to start off with the news. Should we start off with the Buddy Challenge or the upcoming releases?
Hey, you're the host, man. You're the one who should be like, I just wants to back up for you, but
True.
You know.
So basically, we'll start off with the upcoming releases.
Fair enough.
Today we're recording this on the same day as the Bushy Road Nav International thing live stream they had with a competition in that, and they announced new cards and also the dates for the next two sets, which is our next set is Extra Set 1, which is Immortal Entities, on June 6, 2014. That's for you Americans. I'm not sure what happens over here. And Set 3, Drums Adventures, on July 4th.
Oh, wow.
No.
For those who don't know, Immortal Entities will introduce Ancient World, and Drums Adventures will introduce Adventure? No, Dungeon. Dungeon. Yeah.
And more generics, because everybody loves generics, man.
I like generics.
Generics are pretty
No.
cool.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. But anyways, Immortal Entities will also introduce more support for Katana World and Ancient World, too. Katana World and Dragon World. That's what's pretty important to note.
Yeah. Too many dragons. Too many dragons.
Yeah. Who needs...
I would...
Yeah. Yeah, you would love it. You're a Dragon World player.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm not. Yeah, anyways.
Too many dragons. We need more danger support here. Damn it.
What?
Something interesting. Like a new impact. Man, we need that impact.
New impact would be nice.
So, continuing on, the Buddy Challenge is upcoming. I think it just started. The first events have just started. Tomorrow, I think, in Japan.
Tomorrow.
I think. Let me look this up.
Drums Adventures.
So, for those who don't know, the Buddy Challenge is the first major event for Buddyfight, and it's pretty big. It's going to be the first tournaments to officially have a sideboard for Buddyfight. And it's going to be I think it depends on your location, but mostly going to be English format. Not sure.
Well, I don't imagine they'll allow you to splash cards from other languages. Yeah. I think the rules do say here that
the first
English only.
Yeah, the first event I can see is on the 18th of April. So yeah, you guys better. This will probably be released after
2 days from now.
Yeah, 2 days from when we're recording this, but this is probably going to take a bit because I have things to do, places to be, and I'm
interested. That PR card that you get for it though is pretty interesting, I suppose. Well,
it's a vanilla. It is a 2-gauge vanilla.
It's the 2-gauge vanilla, man. How many times that?
I can see it being.
He's actually the same cost as that Dual Dragon from the first set, actually, that 2-2. But you get an extra crit over him at the cost of being size 3.
Yeah. I don't think he's as good as Death Sickle Dragon at all, though.
Questionable, because like 4 damage is usually not a bad thing if you're in the late game.
Yeah, but Death Sickle has double attack with 2 crit. If you're gonna be doing that.
Otherwise, the same net damage if it manages to connect. It's just one of them is like more risky in terms that you might randomly get stopped with 1 attack, but who knows? Some people might also have gimmicks that allow them to neuter 2 attacks, but they won't be able to deal with 1. So that sort of thing.
This does help with trying to work out the power levels, which we'll get to later, but the power levels of size 3s, because I'm having trouble with that. I think it's got something to do with defense.
They seem to be all over the place with the size 3s from what I can see.
What do you guys? So what do you guys think of the deck box?
The deck box? Oh man, that gimmicky thing there.
Yeah, I'm gonna post this in the Skype call, so Jaden can see this. I hope he's still there.
Well, it's also the main Buddyfight page, so go ahead and hit like there,
I normally really hate these boxes because they're just so flimsy. I got my Gal one here. It just, I don't know. I tend to break these ones. Like, I can get Ultra Pro to last longer.
The plastic cases, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not really good quality, to be honest. But if you take good care of them, then they do last quite a while,
Yeah, because I've been taking care of these Gal cases. I've actually got 2 of these Gal cases, so I really need something to replace it. Because it's been confusing in my box, because I'll pick up my Buddyfight deck, try to pick out my Buddyfight deck, and end up picking up my Link Jokers from Vanguard. It gets really annoying sometimes. And the can badge, which I was confused on why it was called a can badge for the longest time, so I wasn't sure what it was going to be. But they showed them on the host for the recent live stream for the Bushy Navi thing.
So what is a can badge, man? Oh,
Yeah, badge.
Yeah, it's basically it's like one of those badges you get as a kid. It's just paper wrapped around plastic. So nothing special.
A book standard badge. No worries.
Yeah, just a standard badge.
I would still enjoy wearing that during the tournaments, though.
Man, wearing your hat, you have a buddy right next to your head all the time who's whispering annoying stuff to you, like, "Oh, hey,
yeah. I'm a TF2 player, so anything that is decorative, I tend to like.
Hats, man, hats.
Hats.
Saxton.
I want a fedora. So
Disney mustache, man.
So the major prize for most of these events is you get to enter the final your continental championships, and the big thing is, especially for us Australians here, is that we get travel to Singapore, and you'll get travel to your respective places depending on where you are, but it's quite. That's pretty exciting considering this is the first major event for Buddyfight. You're already
and technically there's no entry fee either.
There's no entry fee, which is even funnier.
Yeah, it's great in that sense, but then how are they actually financing this is what I kind of wonder about,
This is beyond me.
How many booster packs do you have to buy to fly to Singapore? You know.
And on the same day as the events, wherever you are, there's also the Future Card Buddyfight free fights, which I can see Jaden being in.
If there's no entry fee, I'll probably go there.
Yeah, there's the free fights and then there's the main tournament. Both of them are free. Here in Australia, they might have wherever you guys might be. There might be fees depending on where the place is being held. So you might have to pay so they can pay for the rent of the event area.
Well, like just using a standard tournament setup in that you pay your $10 or whatever, what have you.
Yeah.
Your packs as prizes, that sort of thing.
Yeah. And so in the free fight, you get for every 2 matches you win, you get a promo pack, and
That's cool.
this is rather reasonable for a Buddyfight for a Bushy Road promo pack. It's still the first edition, so
Well, free event too, man.
yeah. It comes with some important cards, some you would not probably run, but
Do you mind looking at the promo pack, by the way?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry for interrupting you there, actually. Do you mind linking us the promo pack so we can see the contents?
Okay. Well, at the bottom of the page for the Buddy Challenge event, I will put this on the screen for you YouTube viewers. Basically, you can get things
Wait,
like...
at the bottom. Oh, God.
You can get things like Dragonheart, which is the anti-impact card. A somewhat important Magic World card, but that costs 2 gorge. You get 6,000 power, 7,000 defense. It's alright. You get a interesting Katana World card with 3 crit. Cannot be called to the center, but you can't nullify it.
He's a really important card. Just say he's really important for a lot of reasons.
For multiple reasons. Axe Head Dragon looks interesting, but the main thing I think most people are going for is for Twin Blade Dragon Double Zace, which is a dual dragon penetrate card for 1 gorge.
Well, actually, useful. They actually did bring out I think there's a version of him in set 2, so...
I think like Anger
with foot
Dragon
stats, it's actually 6,000 power and 5,000 defense. So technically speaking, you can also interchange him with the other one too, depending whether you're offensive player or offensive by that one stat.
I will probably end up running this even though it's a dual dragon. I think the worst card you can get in this pack is Anger Fist Dragon.
Anger Fist?
Yeah, it's a size 1 Dragon World armor dragon with 2,000 attack, 3,000 defense, 2 critical, and when this card enters the field, this card gets 2,000 power.
That's actually not bad. I have to say that. It's actually not bad. 1 turn 4K 3,000 is usually like, because most level 1s tend to last only 1 turn anyways, unless people are hunting your like they're actually avoiding your.
Yes, but it's still only
the
4K
thing is,
attack.
just like, I actually think one of the ones that wouldn't be as sought after would be the Magic World one, because pay 2 gauge for 6K, 2 crit 7 defense, size 2 is kind of, you have better places to be spending your gauge in that world.
you do, but it's still one of the most powerful cards in Magic World. So
arguably, you don't really need the power. Arguably, you don't really.
Oh wait, I just realized what's even worse than both of them. Armonite Wisp.
Well, Ammonite Wisp is still respectable because he's just a grade 0, size 0 actually.
But he just doesn't do anything as a size 0, where Danger World has even their trial deck size 1 better than it. Unless you want a size 0
size 0 is actually the fact that the size 0 can sneak into your field when is pretty significant,
It's significant.
Or it's really but
it's significant, but there are just better options.
There's way better options.
Arguable, but hey, yeah, I'll take it. Like 4K defense, not bad, but yeah, it's the 1K attack is kind of not really well suited. But the fact that it's a level 0 still makes it a lot better than all these other cards in a sense.
Yeah. Bodycard Dragon I find interesting, but I don't see it being used. It's pay 1 Gorge for a... Oh, God. It's a pay 1 Gorge for 2,000 power, 2,000 defense, 2 crit, and when you play this card, you may search your Gorge. You may choose a card from your Gorge and put it into your hand.
Gauge. No, he's actually decent. The fact is, you do get a card from your hand. It's basically pay 2 gauge to get 1 card.
Yeah,
if you've stocked something in there that you want to retrieve, you can actually do that. You know.
Yeah, he does have a gimmick that can work. I just don't see him being used. He still makes up for his own summoning, so he gets you advantage overall.
Yeah, he's one of those rare cards that actually give you advantage in Dragon Mode.
In Buddyfight in general.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Even if 2 gauge.
It's alright. I don't see.
But you do have cards like Quixote, whatever, to charge up anyways. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah. So this is a bit more powerful than the average Bushy Road promo pack, but otherwise it's just basic stuff.
You can actually see a bit of interplay using all the soul charge stuff that they currently have, like the Gauntlet and Quixote, as well as the counter charge too. And then you just drop this guy and you start adding cards to your hand. You're like, well, here comes the payoff, right?
Yes.
That's one. So you can flood 3 of them at a time. Feel free cards in your hand for 6, unless you've got some fat thing in the center.
So yeah, we should probably continue. The anime. It's currently on episode. What episode is it on?
It's like 15 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Let me just.
Have you guys watched any?
I have watched a little bit of the anime. I mostly just watch it now because it has like references to other
card games. Yeah.
No, not just to other card games, but to pop culture in general. For example,
pop culture as well. Yeah.
For example, there's like the Elvis Presley thing after Galsburst battle, and then there's also a Monty Python line from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Better than me. I haven't actually watched any of them yet. Well, I have yet to get into it.
It was the line was leave or I shall taunt you a second time. And the guy was French.
Oh. Makes sense.
Oh, I love that movie. So let me just see. What was I looking for again? I was looking for how many episodes in the anime. Let's see. Season 1 episodes.
Should be about 15.
Let's. Apparently 15 about. I find it interesting as an anime, but as a card game anime, but overall, it's just too corny for proper seriousness of anything. I do think the
most things though, like most of the EG dubs. But anyways,
it's the dub is questionable. I would not like it if it weren't for the fact that they've got those references to other things.
Yeah,
funny.
That's the only thing that's really stopping me from watching it right now.
Yeah.
Want to listen to the voices is just going to be like they sync their voices, but where's the personality and the spirit sort of thing. But that's an entirely different conversation altogether, you know. Let's not go there.
we should probably leave that. Any other news?
But then how do you find it in general in terms of like following the rules and stuff like that, as well as
it's really good fight.
Plus presenting new cards.
The fights are really good. They're well written in any way except for the fact that Gao wins all the time.
Well, understandable. Except for unless they decide to pull an iTunes, like make him lose.
I'm just worried they'll pull. I'm just worried they'll pull. I don't think any of you watched the Jaden might, but
you become
the Beyblade anime, the new one.
Best shooter to talk about. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, in the Beyblade anime, the main character loses once, And so what he does is he screams out, the day I lose is the day I quit Beyblading, and he never loses again. Never loses again.
Typical. That actually does remind me of a bunch of other shows that had, like, they're also battle anime, and same stuff happens. But that's one of the cliches that you kind of expect. Actually, Vanguard was pretty.
Vanguard.
The main character lost quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I think as part of the card game genre, Vanguard is one of the higher ranked ones. If it weren't for the fact that 5Ds is actually pretty decent.
Yu-Gi-Oh is like really, really fun to watch sometimes in terms of the material you can grab from that just to make fun.
At least they make the matches look fun. Ugh.
The thing, like if they look fun in Buddyfight, I actually should watch. I can make some comment on this for next time. But yeah, if they can make it look pretty well presentable and actually make the players look legit, because one of the problems in Vanguard is sometimes you had people that actually could pinpoint really big misplays, and it would actually cost them the game,
Yeah, the amount.
Or maybe sometimes they wouldn't even cost them the game, but they'll still be called a good player, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Vanguard just doesn't know how to play when it comes to their script writing. Buddyfight, at least the battles are realistic. I haven't seen a misplay yet. Whoops, something left. Get him back on, but yeah, okay. There's problems with his connection. So we'll go in. I'll try and fix this, but otherwise we'll just go into the topic.
Okay.
So first of all, what do you think is a good card in Buddyfight?
Something that has double attack.
Nearly everything with double attack is good. Nearly, not everything, but nearly.
Either that or a penetrate with a high crit value is generally pretty good as well. You got a few of those hanging around.
I think
like Soul Guard penetrate is like, oh man.
Yeah, and that comes in a trial deck. Come on. Damn Jackknife trial deck, it's just so good.
The trial deck gives you so. It gives you a lot of options, which is what it's very versatile. Like whatever your opponent does, you can just play Jackknife and go. I respond to that with like, bring crit and start penetrating your center, or hey, let's wipe your field out.
Yeah.
It's
a very flexible deck, even though it costs so much Gorge.
Well, I guess the other part of what makes a good card would be something that's versatile in what it can do, and that's why Jackknife is a good deck, after all.
Yeah.
To that effect, that's also why Danger Worlds is actually a pretty decent deck.
Yes, Danger Worlds vanillas are just ridiculous. Mainly because there's one thing I've had with Buddyfight that I've noticed is if a card does not have at least 5,000 attack, it can't find Danger World.
Yeah, that's pretty sure actually. But hey, how are we gonna discuss? So I'm not too sure this is the best way to go about it. We need to.
So first of all, I've been viewers won't know this, but I've been working on a guide for basically how vanillas are worked out for Buddyfight.
Okay.
Basically, there is a point system that they use, and depending on the world and size, a creature can have a certain amount of points. And I'm very sure this applies to abilities as well, and costs for Gorge.
It should.
But it's very difficult to work that out. It's also difficult to work out for size 3s, but I think I worked out the trick. Okay, yeah. So yeah, Lucario has just quit. Both 2 connection problems and something else, so yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we'll have to...
Alright, going back to the worlds and the point system.
Yeah, so it's just going to be us 2 for the next whatever. We've almost
sure, I can dig it.
We've done this for about 25 minutes, so we're going good.
Okay.
Basically, what do you think is a good ability other than double attack and Soul Guard and all that?
Well, I think I'd mentioned it before, didn't I? Like, the versatility of a card is also very important as well. If it can fulfill many different niches, or if it fulfills one niche really well.
Yeah.
then
Which
that's
is why
generally...
I really like Thousand
Sorry,
Rapier
Karen.
Dragon, or Musketeer Dragon as I like to call it.
Huh, Musketeers. Yo.
Yeah.
Pretty good clan. Besides the point, yeah.
I think a card either needs to be versatile in all over, like it's able to do several jobs really well, or it does one job really, really well. Or gives card advantage.
Well, that's true.
Because card advantage is a rare thing in this game.
But then also comes with the quality of the card and the nature of the advantage too. Because Magic World gives you a lot of advantage, but sometimes you're not always getting back your money's worth.
Advantage.
Yeah, it's not really sometimes what you're looking for. Like, I can't really speak for Dragon. Really play it. Although they do have a lot of quality cards right at the bat. You know, 8 shields, 4 of which, 4 of which give you a gauge. A lot of weapon variety, all of which can fulfill different niches. If you want beat power, or if you want double attacks or whatever, they got a lot. They got a lot of stuff. So, Dragon World players don't really have much.
Dragon World
formulating a deck
Dragon World players have over selection. They really have to work out what their deck is doing. And there's so many funky tech options that it's just like, well. Yeah. It's considering every single set so far has contained at least a few Dragon World cards.
Then you go Paladins. Oh no.
It's like Royal Paladin, Gold Paladin all over again. But basically, I don't think Dragon World is going to be losing support anytime soon.
Well, clearly not unless...
And if it does lose support, it's going to have so much support by then that it just won't matter.
That's relevant.
Yeah. And so many goddamn dragon shields.
Well, that's one of the key advantages, that they have a lot of defense due to dragon shields.
And I can see a white dragon shield being in any side deck.
It does stop things like penetrate from happening. As well as certain impacts too, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's one of the big appeals of it. Like, unless you're versing against another dragon deck that's going, oh hey, Gargantua, even the Katana World, like Diabolical Hardcore, or the Katana World version, you can just like straight up prevent 2 damage and save yourself from being GG'd.
Yeah. So with the cost thing, we've just been introduced to most of the to some of the Ancient World cards, and initially all we had was the Buddy Rare to go off, and it looked really bad. It looked really bad when it was.
Nobody likes
all we had.
Life.
And then they started releasing more cards that were almost exactly like it. And it was it's either gonna be really, really risky to play, or it's gonna be that's how this runs, and the entire deck is built around how that runs.
I do think it is the latter, in that they're encouraging a high G by focusing purely on the center line, or on one line to the least, where you just chuck down a fat dude and go, hey, this is my dude, you get rid of him. Well, right.
And most of the cards released that have been announced are size 3s, which means they're definitely relying on size 3 support.
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually got some size 0s just to sneak in a few extra attacks or whatever, or like give some support buff, because or a card set like size 3 but can become size 2, or size 2 become size 3 sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like how Jackknife works.
So yeah, this might be the size 3 world. So we will finally have the world that will show how good size 3s can be. Because at the moment, a lot of players are looking at size 3s and going, they're just there's too much risk in playing a size 3, and then like
I don't know. There's actually some strategies where you can just play a melee size 3 deck and supplement with a few other nice size 2, size 1 defensive dudes, and you just charge up using whatever use cards that replenish your hand, like that trial deck card for Dragon World, or stuff like Survival Chance, and then you just drop size 3 after size 3, and your opponent has to deal with it. If they can't penetrate or run over it, and you're just countering them as well, it can be pretty hard.
Yeah, size 3s. I think this will be a world that will introduce size 3s as a viable option to those who don't think it's a viable option.
Perhaps so, but yeah,
there are quite a few players that just say, "I will run no size 3 because they're just too clunky."
Missing out, aren't they? Where the double attacks at, man?
Yeah. I like size 3s, but for Danger World, because I'm a Danger World player, I probably won't run more than 2 at any one time.
Two of the current pool, but actually there are precisely, I think, 2 cards which you can justify running more than 2, and the first one would obviously be Armonite Demon, because
he can be good.
He's so boss. I mean, look at its stats, you know.
Yeah, the anime gave a good introduction to Demon overall.
Beef card.
And also how to freaking use that Penetrate Dragon World card that's a triple rare in set 1, I think.
The Penetrate.
He used in the anime. He used 2 Drago energies on that guy to kill Demon and win the game in a single turn.
Oh, I see.
And it was that was the one time I thought, okay, the quality kind of dropped in the writing for the matches, but otherwise that was pretty cool.
Oh, are you talking about that Power Bunker Dragon or whatever his name is?
Yeah, Power Bunker Dragon. That's it.
That's right. Yeah, 2 Drago energies. Yeah, that'll be about 10k. Can bust through. Yep.
I'm trying to work out how like the drill penetrate the drill guy. What's it called? Drill Bunker Dragon with penetrate, which has 6 and 1, and the other guy, it's 4,000 power, 4,000 defense, 2 crit. Because out of the points system that I've come up with, it's mostly it's really weird with their costs. It's kind of weird.
You actually didn't explain your thing properly. You probably have to do that in off time.
I will probably show that. I will at least post a link to. I'll make the Google Doc open to the public, and I'll post a link down in the description.
Yeah, because it's pretty comprehensive stuff. I saw that list just now. So
because I've shown this to a lot of people, and the first thing they go is, "What the hell does this mean?" And it's really hard to explain, but it'll work.
Well, the base fundamentals is basically like you got a set amount of points, right? Like say I don't know.
You have a set amount of points, and each critical power and each critical costs at least. I think it depends on the world and size, but basically each crit costs about 2 points, and each power costs 1,000 points. And I think the only exception on the power and defense is size 3s. I think size 3s have their defense value actually being worth 2 points per 1,000.
But yeah, but then it's also like, what's it called? You're looking at about a pool of 18 points.
Yeah.
Or something like that, wasn't
it? I think size 3s are going to have about like 20 points. 18 was just an estimate based on what I had before, but I think I have to change that because of the defense values.
Okay.
But overall, the system is pretty sound so far. So yeah, I'll make it. I'll finish off the Magic World at least, and then post it in the description. So what I think makes a good card, vanilla wise, it must have at least 5,000 defense. Yeah, I'm
defense. No, I'd go on better and say like you'd actually want to have a card that has 6,000 defense if it's a level 1 especially, but that may be a bit hard. So at least 6.
It has to have either its power 5,000 or its defense 6,000.
Well, yeah, because the general attack power on most decently run level 1s tends to be about 5.
Yeah, and 5 can kill a lot of things. A lot of size 2s, a lot of nearly every single size 1.
Like the only thing that won't actually run over 5k defense would be those other weenies that have greater crit power but less attack power in return. So K defense is sort of okay. K power is so common, kind of overrides that usefulness, you know.
So yeah, I think we've gone over most of what makes a good card. So basically, you want to get card advantage, you want to do a specific job, or you just want pure power.
Well, power is usually nice. Like if you can double attack, generally you're in a good place to begin with.
Yeah, There have been somebody's already worked out that there's magic numbers in this game. Basically, the magic numbers are 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, and I think we're about to get 10,000 because there's only one card with 10,000, but still.
10,000. Not too sure about 10,000. Actually, you want to be hitting 11, to be honest. If most of the defense value would be about 8 on average, then to beat any free K counter, you'd want to hit 11 on average. But it's a bit hard to do.
That's fair enough.
The 10K is more easy for some. Generally, you can generally hey, here's a 5K little size ones. Let's go in, right?
Two Musketeer Dragons, just bang.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or any decent weapon.
But then I guess the cost is also pretty important too, because you don't want to be overpaying.
Yeah.
Getting
Jackknife. If anyone's played it, you realize that you run out of gorge very quickly.
Yeah, so you need to supplement your deck with a lot of stuff that can charge for you, or you just play the rest of your deck is pretty much nearly vanilla deck, or But then they have Drago, the blue energy shield, so at least I can keep them full for a while.
You do need blue dragon shield for that deck,
and the gauntlet always helps too.
Yeah,
but there'll be other people that also chuck in Quixote to try and rack up a bit of free stock.
I think the trial deck card that gains 2 gorge is a pretty good option. I wouldn't run more than 2 of it if you have blue dragon shields, but yeah.
Debatable.
Yeah.
The other card you're running, the one from the first deck.
This is a new game, so testing is a must.
But then tech options are also very abundant in this game as well. You can definitely take a lot of options. And
I guess that's a good segue to our general discussion of how we think the game is going so far.
Okay, that's nice. Yay, new segment.
So basically,
so how do you think the game is going so far?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I think it's going. It's got a strong start. Maybe not as strong as Vanguard's. Mostly because of its really annoying name. It's so hard to. It's so hard to say. Oh, I play a game called Buddyfight and get taken seriously.
I think I mentioned this to you before, but you just call it Future Card or instead, Future Card.
Unfortunately, if somebody looks up Future Card, they might get something else, which is a bit of a problem.
Sorry?
If you're trying to tell what the game is, and you want to try and get them into it, it's.
You just sound like 5 of your friends, right?
Yeah.
Friend by your side, and then you just beat up other people.
But otherwise, depending on which world you play, it can either be really cheap or really expensive, and that was almost the same with Vanguard, really.
In a way, yes, but I think it's more to do with the rarity system than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that you got a 30... Yeah, getting only 2 triple rares compared to, say, Vanguard's 3 is actually...
Oh, you only got 2? Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Really. I've actually experienced that myself. SP takes up a different slot, a rare slot, I believe, and you still get 6 double rares either way, unless your box is like really funkier and out of the deviation,
SPs take a different slot. Do buddy rares take up the SP slot though? That's a good question.
Well,
I'm not sure what that slot takes.
You don't really see, I don't think you've actually seen a box that gives you both an SP and a buddy rare. That would be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah.
Say to the least.
That would be like, well, I've just wasted my luck for this month.
Oh.
I just opened these. Like that picture Duncan showed on Facebook. I'm not going to go into that for Hearthstone, but
Wait, you're correct just now?
But basically, I will probably cut that last word. But what do you? So what is your favorite card at this point?
Pure favorite card? I'd have to say Medusa. Because I like Penetrate, and she's a really nice card. Like all around stats, good stats, 5k. Attack power, 4k defense, penetrates for 2. No real condition needed. Just an armor knight, so definitely in a good subclan, I suppose you say.
It does pass the vanilla test of 5,000 power, so
yeah. And yeah, you can combo with other penetrate cards, like with the spear, everyone's favorite. Penetrate for 4 against a soul guard. They're like, well, I better think of a new plan pretty fast.
Yeah,
because things are going pretty downhill.
My current favorite card is definitely Mary Sue. I haven't tried it yet, but it's the idea behind it is just so funny.
Well, the concept of a fictional creation, birthed in fan fiction.
The fact that they took a word from fan fiction is beyond me.
Fiction and then they just
the flavor text,
like parachuted in.
Art, it's just it reminds me so much of Madoka Magica for one point, and then which is my favorite anime. I still can't find a replacement for it. And then,
ability too. Oh, you can grab any card that any spell that you want to cast.
Is just really good for Magic World. It's just
so
really
good. hey, Grandfather Clock, come here. For stock, no worries.
As we went before, it is an advantage card, and you just get anything you want.
Really
from Magic
good advantage
World,
card,
which is quite a bit.
You wouldn't run more than 2 in a deck, I think, or maybe 3 at most, because of that 2 stock cost.
3 and
that cost is really hard to swallow.
Yeah,
considering Magic World,
and also it just costs ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, but the stats are still okay. Like, you can barely get there with the 4K attack, defense, and 2.
It does need to team up with things.
It's not bad, but in Magic World, you definitely want better than that. But hey, the ability makes up for it in a way. Like, you do get to search your deck for whatever your current situation is. If it's a spell.
Yeah, it gives you options and card advantage. It's really good. However, our current decks, what exactly are you running as your main deck at the moment?
For me, I guess my main deck would be Harmonized because I start off with the Char.
Yeah.
And it's gonna build it from there. So I got an Harmonized Danger World deck, pretty standard stuff. Yeah. 4 Medusa, 4 8 equipments, whatever tech options I felt were useful enough to put inside. So actually, the Dual Dragon was nice. That one when you put it on the left or the right, the size one, pay 1 gauge, gain life.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very questionable on those gorge pay 1 gorge gauge gorge whatever. Gain 1 life. Because the life gain is interesting, but it's a bit of a cost for danger.
I don't necessarily think so.
It's not a massive cost.
On a purely non-charge-based deck where you actually don't run any of that, soul charge 2, not soul charge, charge 2 from playing that event, that spell or whatever, and you can still get away with it. It is a nice card because to gain life if you want. You don't necessarily have to do it, but again, going back to basic stats, 5k, 2, 1 defense is not really that bad, and you're going to be dropping on the side anyways. So
I might end up running it. I might. That depends on how well I use my new null, because the generic null is all right.
Yeah. Although, I guess
generic gave it.
I'm trying to build a wizard deck because wizard's interesting. Got some decent cards to set.
But I just don't have the money to pay for such a deck.
Oh man. Oh, Katana World's also looking interesting.
Yeah.
I got a few cards from that because
I think Katana World might need a bit more support.
They do. They're in dire need of vanilla style actually decent.
Yeah.
Like 5k Skull Warrior for size 1 wear.
Yeah.
And just like better size 2s in general, please. I guess they're alright. They got stuff that
it needs the support, and it's not getting it anytime soon. Wait, is it?
It's coming in Immortal Entity.
Okay, so it's getting some support at least.
Yeah, at least some support, which is nice. They should support relatively new worlds that pop up.
So yeah, that's it's. I find Katana World interesting, but I'm probably going to sell off the cards when we buy the set 2 box. For now. If it ends up getting interesting later on, I might.
Interesting. So it's not interesting at the moment. Is that what you're saying?
It's just not enough at the moment. Yeah.
I guess if you want to put it that way.
That the impact mechanic, which is a lot like Hearthstone's secrets, I find interesting. But
You mean the katanas,
yeah,
sword formations, or all
yeah,
that
sword
stuff?
formations.
Yeah, because you do get a lot of variation how you can set up your situations. Like, oh, my sideboard is 10 impacts. Let's go.
I can say it will take up a lot of room.
Yeah, and then just like
You're
run
probably
nothing
not running
but
weapons.
Well, I don't think there's enough weapons to make it worthwhile. Actually, wait, you do need a weapon to activate those cards, right? It's not like you can just like throw them out willy nilly.
I will double check that, but yeah.
I don't have those cards in front of me right now, so I can't really check, and I don't really remember offhand. I probably have to edit that bit out, by the way.
Oh boy, the editing.
Fun.
So we're actually racking up the time. We should probably go on to the cards of the month then.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing 3 just to start off and see how we go, because we want to do 1 card for each world, each of the base worlds, the first 3, just to start off with.
So that'd be what's it called? A generic world, generic world, and generic world.
I don't consider it generic world. However, if we want to talk about King the Dominator, we'll be fine.
Oh god, that guy. Free gauge is so good.
I
I don't know. The 6K is not really intimidating as far as the size 3 go.
Yeah.
You expect a bit more bang for buck for just a soul card
You build a
card.
chest deck, or you don't run him.
Yeah, pretty much. And even then, you only want to use him like 2 or 3, so you get extra variation to throw into your grave, so then you can go for center and you impact it.
Yeah. The impact is quite cheap, reasonably though.
Yeah, it's not really that hard to set up either. Especially if you're running another world that can clear the front row easily. So Dragon World's pretty good. They got some decent destruction.
Yeah, Dragon
And Danger World also.
And also it has the nullify cards to support it.
Well, it actually is an interesting choice because you do have cards that can bounce for gauge, and they're not restricted to size either. So you can try to bounce the Grey Free in the center. It'll actually work. They do have the cards for that.
So we'll start off with these cards. Basically, we're going to start off with Thousand Rapier Dragon, which was originally going to be our card of the month, but we decided to add an extra 3 because I kind of wanted to talk about vanillas in the first episode. Just to explain what makes a good card section. Thousand Rapier Dragon is a Dragon World card, an Armor Dragon and a White Dragon with 5,000 power, 1,000 defense, 2 crit, and no ability. Basically, this card is a size 1
vanilla.
Reasonable beat stick.
Pretty vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla ice cream, yeah.
Yep.
It's sweet, but nothing fancy.
No, nothing fancy at all.
Yeah.
But as we were talking about in the first section, or in the earlier section,
In
I
the main
suppose.
section, yeah.
He is a relatively versatile. Well, he does what you expect a good grade 1 to do, a solid grade 1, as far as vanilla goes.
Yeah.
The fact is, dropping him on the side, bashing something 5k, will definitely get rid of most grade 1s and lower powered grade 2s.
Or tricky size 2s.
Yeah, size 2s that have funky effects that you want to say,
Rather kill them
and
off.
the 2 crit is a nice little bonus as well, even though it drops his defensive power due to it, but you're not really too concerned about defensive power of this guy. You're more like, hey, here's a dude that's going to constantly put some light pressure, moderate pressure on your board, and unless you get rid of it, you got to deal with this guy. So he's not too bad as far as size 1 goes.
Yeah. I think he's staple for what Dragon World needs.
They do have a lot of decent options.
They do have a lot of options, but
in their size 1 lineup.
You do need something that can kill stuff, and this is one of the best guys to do it.
Yeah, unless you're running like those Dragon Knight dudes in grade 1, grade 2 and stuff. Oh, just rest and kill stuff.
Yeah. Unless you're playing
guys
Dragon
are-
Knights, this is a good card.
But yeah, his solid stats means that he won't really be too irrelevant meters until they decide to bump up the power past 5,000 into 6.
There is another card that is a good replacement for him. That's Double Sword Dragon, and the other guy that came in the trial deck, which is basically the same thing, just a green dragon instead of a blue dragon, which is a 5,000 attack, 4,000 defense, but only 1 critical.
Well, the higher defense is a good selling point, I suppose.
It can survive against some things.
That's right. Because there are times when you do need to put a center roll grade 1, a size 1, just to make sure that you don't take too much damage in the early.
So
because he's going to open up with the ideal defender for your center, so he does work in a pinch.
Yeah.
But on that note, that other card you're talking about, was that Red Claw Dragon or some other dragon?
Sentetsu, not some random name. It's really annoying.
But the fact is, Red Claw Dragon does come very to surpassing 1,000 rapier in pure stat. He's got 4,000 attack and 5,000 defense. That's like the opposite of what he's trying to do. So they're both good for clearing cards off the field.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather the 5k power than the
5k power. Always more relevant. Fact is, 5k power matters.
So how out of 10, how would you rate 1,000 Rapier Dragon?
I would rate him vanilla.
So
I like rating cards out of a 10 because I feel like all of them sort of have their niche that they can fulfill, and this guy does do a lot of general good things. So he's good as far as vanillas go.
Yeah,
so,
I think I gave him a 7 on my trade card online review, but I think I might change that to a 6.
I see.
So yeah, the next card we're going to go into is Ammonite Gargoyle. This guy
Gargoyle. Here we go.
Weird. He's
weird, you say?
He's weird, but helpful in some way. He's 1,000. He's got 1,000 attack with 1,000 power, which is nothing. It can kill 1,000 Rapier Dragon, but that's about as it.
Yeah, it can kill. It can kill quite a bit.
It can kill a few things, but not
too many.
The important things.
But that's not what he's built for.
No, and he also has 2,000 defense, which will block nothing.
He can block. He can block himself.
Yes, he can block himself
in the mirror match. Go against my Gargoyle. Oh no! I'm in trouble.
But his selling point is he has 3 crit as a size 1 monster.
Yes.
And he has no cost compared to the Dragon World version, Spike Soldier, which is a pay 1 gorge. You get an extra 2,000 power, but that's
nothing.
This is cheaper for the thing it's meant to do.
He's just there as like a custom speeder. Like you play him as your final attack of the turn, and just try to you had to force out their shields.
You either throw him out early or you throw
free.
him out late. And if you throw him out in the middle, he's perfect Cerberus bait.
I guess so. But usually you want to be setting up Cerberus in this.
Well, I'm running it in my deck with my Cerberus, just because it gives him a little bit more option. After he's done his 3k attack, and if he somehow survives, which is going to be beyond me.
Well, I don't know.
If this thing survives a turn, your opponent's probably not clearing the field.
Well, I've seen a few players that just don't really care and just let it sit on the field, and because they feel like, I can tank this.
Yeah.
And actually sometimes
Cerberus, okay, your wall is dead.
But yeah, that's the thing. Because Cerberus exists, take a bit of consideration into leaving this.
Yeah. So we're kind of running out of time, so we should get through this card. Would you rank this one? Because I'm thinking of ranking it a 5.
Well, I'd rate him as a pretty good damage adder. So I mean, not damage adder. He's a pretty good beast stick. So I'd rate him as good beast stick.
Fair enough.
He's a brown stick. Very sticky. He's no stick of truth.
He does have a drill, so we could call him a mini Gurren Lagann.
Oh, carrying on. This next card, I actually don't know what it is.
Yeah, I've been saving
It's
this.
something you picked out to surprise me, or to surprise us to have been. But yeah, carry on.
So I picked this guy. I originally clicked on this guy because I was thinking Space Dandy. So I'm guessing that is enough for you to guess this card. But it's Dandy Guy Citri.
Citri, is it?
Something like that. Citri,
that's you actually went ahead and picked the card I was thinking you were going to pick.
Yeah, I know. I like
Works
picked
by me.
it. And you went, yeah, I like picked it and you went, oh, Citri. And I was like, I don't
Well, that's some clairvoyance there, right? I should play Magic World, yo. Oh, wait, I already do. No.
Yeah, because before the show, we already picked that we wouldn't pick Mary Sue. We're gonna be saving that for another time.
Yeah, but then we ended up discussing Mary Sue on the show anyway, so whatever.
Yeah. So basically, Dandy Guy Citri is a size 2 Magic World guy at 4,000 attack, 3,000 defense, 2 critical, which, considering what Magic World power levels are, he's reasonable. Considering his ability is this: take a chance. When this card enters the field, you reveal the top card of your deck. I want to see that being used more often because that would put Scry into this game.
Deck. But if it's a spell card,
but the problem is that this one isn't the Scry card. No, this card. If the revealed card is a spell card, you may cast it without paying its cast cost, which is pretty good, somewhat.
It's amazing actually.
It can really go well, or it just goes meh.
You do have a lot of potential with this guy because
Oh, and by the way,
sorry.
Just to continue reading the card, if the card is not a spell, or you do not wish to cast it, the card goes onto the bottom of your deck. So just
Actually, you better just repeat that card and edit out the previous stuff because there's a bit too much interruption in that, I think.
Fair enough. So let me just read it again. Easier for editing. So take a chance is when this card enters the field, you reveal the top card of your deck, which is a lot like Scry from Magic. And then if the revealed card is a spell card, you may cast it without paying its cast cost. If you do not, or if the revealed card is not a spell, you put that card on the bottom of your deck. It's Scry with maybe something better.
Well, the fact is, he doesn't actually cost you anything to play. You just have to reveal the top card of your deck. So if you've been setting up your deck to include spells like Oops or Solomon's Volume or what have you,
the Great Clock,
like Grandfather Clock, or you can just play a lot of cards for free. You don't necessarily have to say, oh, I'm not going to be able to use my counter, but you can get stuff like Nice One for free, Kosher, things like that if you're playing Wizards. So he definitely does have a nice play. A magic spell-orientated deck, but even those that don't run spells, you can just drop them down and say, hey, here's a size 2 4K free beater for 2 damage, and I still get an ability anyways, which is nice. Nothing wrong with that.
And even then, like if the only way you'd find this a problem is if the card you revealed is really good, or if it's like Solomon's Shield or something, and even then.
Well, you only return it to the bottom of your deck. It's not like you lose the card forever. Yeah. So it's not too bad,
if you can find a way at shuffling your deck, that is.
Pretty easy. Because you can also use generic spells as well, depending on how good some of those turn out to be. Like, you can use Buddy Charge as well. Make him your buddy. Oh, Buddy, cool out. Oh, it's Buddy Charge. Charge free.
So I actually didn't know what this card was until I clicked on it. So this was a surprise partly to me as well. I like this card.
Charge 2.
I like this card a lot. I wish I played Magic World just because so many trickery things you can do with it. It's also 72 pillars, so it works in that deck as well.
He's not a wizard. It's a bit less justifiable to run him in there, but he can still find a place in Wizards too.
He can find a place in most decks.
There's just a lot of good spells in Magic World that they do have costs, and Her Magician can take a bit of the brunt off if you have the card in your hand already, but this guy's like, oh, here's a chance to get free. So you're playing lottery, but there's no downside to actually using him. That's a great part.
Yeah, except for maybe wasting a card, and that's a very unlikely bad side.
Well, it's not really too bad unless you definitely need a card, but you've got other ways to search stuff in Magic World, so I wouldn't think it's that much of a detriment. Pretty good card overall.
Yeah. I do like the fact that he's a dandy guy. Cause
yeah, that hat is very appealing.
yeah, fedora. Nice hat.
Yeah, definitely good hat.
Mm.
Well, so how would you rate this guy then?
I would probably rate him a 7. That's being a little generous, but yeah, he's got the tech, he's got the ability. He's a good solid 7.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think I just contradicted myself there, but
I was about to say.
yeah, but so what would you rank it then?
Well, this guy, I would rank him like, what's it called? He's got a cool hat, so I would rank him Hat Fortress 2 with
Okay.
red dye.
Yep.
Unique hat.
So
It's pretty cool.
he's definitely part of the red team. I would like to see a blue version of him. Okay, I want this card in the anime just so I can maybe see a blue version of him.
Yeah, it would be nice if they
But I
do
doubt
that.
it's
It's
gonna
like
be
red
duplicate.
wine as well. If they made a blue version of him, then will we see him with blue wine? I'm interested to find out. Mm-hmm.
Just like reverse the art and make it a bit blue. I might do that actually.
Palette swaps, man.
Yeah, just change the palette. Yeah. So we should. I believe I have a question somewhere. Yep, question of the month. So basically, I'm gonna make there's gonna be a Twitter account. You can post in the comments as well. I might also open an email. But basically, at the end of each of the shows, I will ask a question for the listeners to ask. And we
Ask a
will,
question for the listeners to ask. What?
sorry, the listeners to answer. Sorry.
Listen to yourself.
That will not be edited out. So,
Oh man.
too much editing. But oh well, I expected that in the first episode. So basically, for you guys to answer in the comments or in an email or whatever Twitter I come up with, what do you guys like in a card? And we will post our answers as well on the episode, where we will also get your top answers, the answers that we like the most, and we'll shout them out on the next episode.
You can read them out in a grandfather's voice. That's cool. Yearly
Yes, this is from Jeremy366. It
Anyways.
says,
Whatever.
next time on the Buddyfight podcast, old man says comments.
Well.
So yeah,
Hey, what can we look forward to in the next podcast, eh?
well, we'll have probably more cards released for the next few sets, so we'll be doing that. Which probably our main topic will be preview cards. So
You mean like the card of the day stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
Preview cards. We will definitely. I'm thinking of doing like a preview. Like just before a set is released, we might do a podcast and go over all the preview cards.
That would be nice. That would.
Do it like limited resources for Magic the Gathering, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that might be next episode. We still have to work it out. This is a work in progress.
Might be next episode.
We will be answering the question, of course. We will also be talking whatever news comes up. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be mostly like what we've done today. So, post any criticism you might have down in the comments, or send us an email or whatever I come up with, and put it in the description below. I'm not.
He'll
sure
be
how I'm
sure to
gonna
block you. Don't worry.
Yeah. So yeah.
Don't worry, this guy takes criticism lightly. He'll go, oh, okay, I don't know what to do with it.
No,
oh,
I
get
take
out of
criticism.
here.
I've been looking for criticism everywhere. I've been trying.
Oh, so you're actually a masochist, huh? Oh, no worries. Bring it all on then, hey.
Yeah, I will take any criticism seriously. I will not take insults seriously. I will take criticism seriously.
Please. Skill.
So yeah. So thanks for listening. This is actually a fairly reasonable sized podcast. It's pretty good for an first episode, because nearly everyone's first episode ends up being 2 hours for a podcast.
Well, yeah, I guess we could also work on our flow and presentation
Yeah.
as well. But hey, they're all things to press out.
Yeah. We will
stuff.
sort this out as we go along. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening,
Yeah, thanks for
watching,
listening.
whatever. However you have the means of listening to this, we might get this on iTunes. I'm not sure. I hope to get it on iTunes. That would be cool.
It's wild.
But otherwise,
advice, man.
thanks for
Vital stuff.
listening, guys. This has been Giraton and Bird or Kuka or whatever.
Jeez.
This is a bad outro. This is a bad outro. So thanks for listening, guys. I'm Giraton out, and yeah, see you guys next time. Goodbye.